So creating a positive user experience with subscriptions, subscribe or unsubscribe. Don't be afraid to ask them that they want to subscribe, and I highly suggest you do that. Again, Facebook, Google, every company out there wants a positive, pleasant user experience. So once we set this up in our last video with quick reply, we need to basically create a block for that. Now what's cool about Chatfuel is I simply type in the name of the block and it will automatically create the name of the block if I don't already have one. So we're simply going to call this subscribe. And it's going to say create a subscribe block. And then we come over here to unsubscribe and unsubscribe and create an unsubscribe block. So now those blocks have been created over to the left. Now, if you want to name this something like getting started, I might suggest you do that. It's just like naming files. You want to get in the habit of spelling correctly, of course. But it's just like File Management 101, that if you name your files correctly, you can find them at a later date. So understand what's happening so far. So we have this information here. They go through they read the privacy policy. We have a basic 5-second delay. It gives them in time to do that. If you want to make it no second delay, it's up to you. And then you basically say, yeah, do you want to subscribe or unsubscribe? Yeah, sure. No, I'm good. Yeah, sure. Based on our choices goes to our subscribe block, which is over here to the left. And no, I'm good is the unsubscribe block, which is also over here to the left. So now we need to build out those two blocks. So we go to subscribe here and we put in any information that makes sense. So from this point, we'd add a text box. And again, I'm going to do some typing here. I want to make good use of your time. I don't want you to have to watch me typing. I'm going to type and come back and explain what I did. So what I've done here is they basically opt out. So let's go through this again. So they're in the welcome message here. The welcome message basically says read the privacy policy and then ask if they want to subscribe. And we put that up in what's called a quick reply. The advantage of a quick reply is everything will halt at this point until they make a decision. Yeah, sure, subscribe. No, I'm good. Okay, and again, this goes to the subscription block. This goes to the unsubscribe block. And you can see this down below. So this is going to subscribe. This is going to unsubscribe. The blocks are over here to the left. So the subscribe block basically says, hey, welcome aboard and thanks for subscribing to my chatbot. You 100%. So it says you 100% control this user experience. So at any time, you may opt out of your subscription with my subscription. Again, I guess I can't type. I guess I have to learn to spell check this first before I press the continue record button here. But anyway, basically makes it very simple. They can just type in cancel, and that will basically opt them out of their subscription. Now, with the unsubscribe, it's saying, hey, no issues here. If you choose to subscribe, in the future, simply type join. Now, understand what's about to happen here. You want to mark what they chose to do. Now, for digital stuff, typically 0 means no, 1 means yes. I like to keep it really simple. So if they subscribe, we're going to put it into the user attribute yes, and if they unsubscribed, we're going to put no. So there'll just be one user attribute called subscribe, and then the reply to that would either be yes or no. So you're not going to make a user attribute for subscribe and make another user attribute for not subscribe. That doesn't make any sense. We want to keep this really simple. So we're going to create different user attributes for that particular section. If they're on that section, then user attribute would be subscribe. For subscribe block would be subscribe yes. The user attribute for the unsubscribe block would be subscribe no. So watch how this is set up. So we come down here based on these choices. There's nothing called user attribute. So I have to hit the more button, and inside the more button, there's something called set user attribute. Now this could be anything you want it to be. So we're just going to type in the word subscribe. And subscribe for this particular page, keep in mind we're on the subscribe page. So we're going to put a value of yes. Now, we'd want this to happen the second that they hit this block. So I'm going to come up and drag this to the top. So therefore, when they come into this block, they're automatically going to be subscribed because they picked, why did this happen? Because of the welcome message, recall that they picked this as a basic flow. They chose to, yeah, sure, after I asked the question, do you want to subscribe? So understand how this software is thinking. Again, I want to involve you in a thinking process. I want you to use some kind of basic intuitive logic. One thought leads to the other, et cetera, et cetera. So keep in mind, the second that they hit this user block called subscribe, we set a user attribute called subscribe, and the value equals yes. So what are we going to do for the unsubscribe? We're going to do the same exact thing. The user attribute will still be called subscribe. We're going to put user value equals no. So again, come up here and select set user attribute. We're going to click subscribe, and in this particular case, the value would be no. Now, if you want to use ones and zeros, it's up to you. So I'm going to drag this to the top too, because the second they hit this block, I want to define this user attribute. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, what we can do at this point in our next video is I'm going to share with you, because again, the objective here, I want you to walk before you could run. So I want to keep these videos short and sweet to the point. So if you need to go back to something based on the topic and the name of the video, it'll be very easy to find that. I don't want you to have to scroll through long-winded 20-minute, 30-minute videos. So my objective here is to get you proper training and proper involvement in the software. So in our next video, we'll share with you how to basically change things around by setting up a join for subscribing and a cancel for unsubscribing after they chose to either subscribe or unsubscribe. Talk to you soon.